Hello, everybody. This is Georgiana and Meredith from Creativity for Kids, and today we are going to do a little sensory activity of Pom Pom pictures. So, Miss Meredith, take it away.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us today. As Georgiana said, we will be exploring some sensory kits using pom-poms. So we actually have 4 different kits that include our pom-poms. So these are all pom-pom pictures, and I'll hold them up because I want you to choose which one we'll explore today. So today, or what I'm holding up right now, is our garden theme. We have our garden theme that has a butterfly and a flower. We have our transportation that includes an airplane and a train. We have our magical that includes a unicorn and a rainbow. And we have dinosaurs. So there's 2 different dinosaurs in this one. All right, so if you or maybe a friend could type in which one you would like to see us open up and play with today, go ahead and Georgiana will let me know which one we'll be exploring today. And while we wait, I'm going to talk a little bit about something I'm wearing. This is a pom-pom necklace. I thought it was perfect because we'll be using pom-poms in our crafting today. And it's very fun to wear pom-poms. They're so fuzzy and they feel fun in your fingers.
Meredith,
Yes.
since the chat isn't open, just want to remind everyone that you can say your suggestion in the Q&A box. Cool. If you do want to give one. Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder. That's very
no problem.
Oh, what do we have a picture of? It looks like a dinosaur. Oh, dino, 2 for dino. Dinos. This is great. Thank you, everybody who has chimed in with your vote. It looks like we'll be doing dinos today. All right, so we'll put the other ones aside for now. Okay, let's open up our box and see what's inside. All right, so what we have here is our handy dandy instructions. We have a reclosable bag that opens up and holds your 2 dinosaur boards. And these boards are nice and fuzzy and felty on top. And on the back, it's smooth and foamy. And you might notice there's different sized holes on our picture here of our dinosaur. So I'll get to that in 1 second because those holes are where we'll be putting our pom-poms. Yeah. So we have different sized pom-poms and different colors. And then we also have in our little bag some wiggly eyes. And these look like they're self-adhesive, which means they're sticky on the back. We'll pull those out. Here's our little wiggly eyes. And we have some yarn. All right, so let's take a look at the instructions and we'll see what all of this is used for. All right, so the first thing it says we're going to do is insert the yarn through the small hanging holes and tie to secure. So it looks like we're going to use the yarn, and this is step 1 right here. We're going to use the yarn to make these boards hangable. So you can hang it up when you're done playing. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's our green yarn. You're given green and blue. And I believe in all of the different kits, you're given yarn to display your pom-pom picture. All right. So we'll just feed this through the hole. There's a hole right up here at the top. And you might need to wet the tip of the yarn in order to make it go through, or you could possibly just pull it. Just kind of push the yarn from one side and then pull it through the back side. And then we need to put it through this hole as well. So we'll just push the yarn through the front. Push, push, push. And pull it through the back. And then we're going to tie the two ends together. So I'm going to actually just take both of the ends, wrap it around my finger, and then feed both of those ends through the loop that I just created with my finger. You can tie it however you know how, though. This is just a basic little knot in order to join your yarn together. So now that we have that, we can see what step 2 is. Step 2 is to peel and stick the wiggly eyes onto your picture. So on this picture, we have 2 eyes, and on this picture, we have 1. So we're going to focus on this one right now, and we're going to put 2 wiggly eyes over top of our friendly dinosaur right here. So I'm wondering, all of my friends out there, do you have a thought as to what we could name our dinosaur? While we're playing with our little wiggly eyes, maybe you can think of a name for our dinosaur. And I'll think of one too. We can see what we come up with. Okay, anybody have a suggestion? This is our dinosaur, and he is dancing a little bit. All right, doesn't look like it. All right, Georgiana, do you have a thought on what our dinosaur could be called?
I think I would name my dinosaur Franklin.
Welcome, Franklin. All right, Georgiana, that was a wonderful suggestion.
Thank you.
So now this is Franklin, our dinosaur. Let's see what we're going to do next. Oh, I see someone actually said Rory. Rory is a great name too. So your dinosaur could be named Rory. All right, so the next part is the fun part, the sensory part, the part that you get to use your fingers and feel how fuzzy these pom-poms are. So we're going to find the different sized pom-poms that will fit snugly in the different size holes of our picture. So in our instructions, we show you that there are big pom-poms and small pom-poms. And as I said earlier, there are big holes and small holes. So we're going to find a large pom-pom, and all you do is you just press it through the hole, just so part of it stays on the front and part of it pokes through the back. And since this picture is made with foam, it holds the pom-pom in place so it doesn't fall through. So we can very easily color in our picture of Franklin using pom-poms. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's a small one. We'll just use our fingers and our thumbs and just push it through. So this is what a small one will look like. Here's our small one and here's our large one. And I am using the colors of the picture to choose which pom-poms I'm adding to the picture. But you don't have to. You can use whatever pom-poms you want to. So maybe you do want to use a green pom-pom and put in his belly. And that's okay. Because if you want to change your mind, all you do is you pop it back out and you can put a different color in. So your picture can change as much as you would like it to. So let's keep going. All right, our little Franklin leg. He needs a green one down here. Another one right here. And I love that this is not permanent, that these little pom-poms can be changed so much. Because then one of my friends could come along and I could take all the pom-poms out and then they could color it in however they want with pom-poms. So it's a good activity for sharing. And while you're putting your pom-poms in, maybe you think of a little story about Franklin. Like, what does Franklin like to eat? Does Franklin like pizza? I don't know. Maybe Franklin likes cupcakes. Maybe Franklin likes noodles. I bet he likes noodles. Buttered noodles, probably.
What do you think Franklin likes to do for fun?
Well, I think Franklin would like to play with Rory. I think they play together, and maybe what they play, maybe they play soccer. We'll see if they can kick the ball. Oh my God, they play soccer. That's what Franklin and Rory do for fun. What do you think Franklin does for fun?
Franklin reads.
Oh, I bet that's right too. Like when he's not playing soccer with Rory,
Yeah.
he reads.
I think he likes to be a quiet dinosaur.
Oh, and he doesn't roar very often.
Yeah, that's why there's Rory. You have to have a loud friend and a quiet friend.
Oh, yeah, Rory is the one that makes all the noise, and Franklin just hangs out and balances out the noise level with Rory. That's fun. Do you have a quiet friend, Georgiana?
I do. Her name is Jordan.
Oh, that's a lovely name. I can't think of many quiet friends that I have. I think most of my friends are rather talkative, really.
Maybe you are the quiet friend.
You know, in certain groups, I definitely am the quiet friend. There are times that it's very important to listen. And so those times are often when I'm with my very talkative friends. So, but I do like to laugh a lot. And I bet Franklin, maybe he laughs a lot too, but maybe it's a quiet laugh. Maybe he snickers like that. There we go. I'm almost done coloring in Franklin with the pom-poms. I'm so curious. Of all of my friends out here, does anyone have this kit and is following along with me? If you do, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. It's very fun. It's very easy, and it's not too difficult that you aren't able to carry on a conversation, you can like do two things at once, really. Pushing these pom-poms in, and you could like sing a song or talk to your friend Georgiana or whatever you want to do.
What if you counted them?
We can definitely do that. We'll put them all in, and then we'll count them as we take them out. I think that'll be fun. All right. All done. Franklin, you are adorable. Look at you, sweet little dinosaur. And then, of course, you can use your yarn to hang Franklin up on your wall or on your door or wherever you hang dinosaurs. So let's go ahead and we'll count how many pom-poms it took to color in Franklin. And let's start with his tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. I just made the pom-poms roll off the table. Hold on. Okay, we were at 8. They're so rolly. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and I saved the pink one for last because pink is one of my favoriteest colors. Uh-oh, I lost count. Was that on 27? 28! Oh, that was very good. I hope all of you were able to follow me in my counting of pom-poms. So 28, that took a lot more pom-poms than I thought. All right, friends out there, should we go ahead and color in Rory, or should we maybe take a look at a different pom-pom picture kit? If you'd like to see a different pom-pom picture kit, like our rainbow and unicorn, or our airplane and train, or our flower and butterfly, just let me know and Georgiana she'll tell me which one we're gonna do next. We can do Rory, the other dinosaur, or one of the other ones that I just pointed out. It's up to you. Great. We'll see what we all decide here.
You know, if my friend Jordan was here, she would have chose the butterfly.
Oh, how nice. Well, I don't see anyone. I don't think anyone else is chatting in. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the butterfly. All right, so what we need to do is put our dinosaur pom-poms away. And I might just grab them by the handful, put them back in our bag. I'll do that. And then we can see what's included in our garden themed pom-pom pictures kit. There we go. Oop, pink one. Okay, I think I got them all. We'll put our yarn back and our wiggly eye. All right, there we go. And then we'll put these back in our little pouch. Oh, I wonder if these can go in the pouch. They can go in the pouch. I wonder if this can go in the pouch. Okay, everything can go in the pouch. So this is a very handy pouch to hold on to. All right, garden time. So let's open this one up and see what we have here. Here's our beautiful, very, very vibrant pom-poms. Oh, and it looks like there's some wiggly eyes in here too. And we have our handy dandy instructions. And our little pouch with the butterfly and our flower. Yeah. All right, so we said Jordan would love to see the butterfly done. All right, we're doing this for Jordan then. Maybe we'll even name our butterfly after her.
Great idea.
Jordan the butterfly. Pom-poms. All right, so when you're pouring your pom-poms out, they do like to run away a little bit. So if you're doing this at home, you might want to put your pom-poms, maybe you like pour them out into a bowl or something if you don't want pom-poms going all over the place. But they are pretty easy to keep track of because they are so bright. All right, so just like we did with our dinosaur, we're going to take one of the pieces of yarn and we're going to thread it through our picture so we can hang up our picture when we're all done. And I think I shared this earlier. You might need to wet, just kind of dampen the tip of your yarn to kind of keep it together as you're forcing it through, as you're pressing it through your picture. So you could like spin it a little and just put it through like that. Spin it and push it like that. Or sometimes what you can do is take a piece of tape and you just tape the tip of it and it's able to be pushed through your picture a little easier. So there's one. Here's our other piece, or other end. And we'll just push this one through too. There we go. All right. And we'll just tie these together. Just like that. Through the loop. Boop. And we are ready to go. Ooh, come back here, you. Okay. All right, so the last time, oh wait, we need to put our eyeballs on. Okay, wiggly eyes. All right, we have 2 eyeballs on our butterfly. Here you go, Jordan, now you can see. Okay, so let's start decorating. And maybe we can count as we go. So let's see how many yellow pom-poms are in this picture. If you want, you can count with me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and add our yellow pom-poms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more is 5. Oops, went through too far. All right, let's see. How many purple pom-poms? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And all of these look like they're small ones. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right. We'll skip ahead to my favorite color next. How many pink ones? And there's 2 colors of pink. There's light pink and there's dark pink. So I'm going to go with the light pink, and there's 1, 2 light pink. One, little cheekers. 2. And let's see how many dark pink. 1 and 2. And those are big ones. 1 and 2. And pushing these little pom-poms through these little holes is good exercise for your fingers. So we're doing finger exercise here. All right, green. 1, 2, green. 1 and 2. All right, and how about this cool teal color? 1 and 2. Oh, there's 2 more. 3 and 4. Okay. Georgiana, you were like, no, there's not just 2. There are 4, Meredith.
The little polka dots were hiding.
Yeah, I was looking down too much. All right, and our last color, orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and then we can count how many was that we used. I was surprised at how many we used for our dinosaur. So I think we ended up with 28 for our dinosaur. We'll see if we have more or less pom-poms for Jordan, our butterfly. There we go, all done. So you can feel how cool that is with all of your pom-poms on it. And actually, I'm going to flip it over so you can see what it looks like on the back. How fun is that? It looks like sprinkles on a cupcake. I love it. All right, so let's count all of them together. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I'll see those. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So if you thought there were more pom-poms in our butterfly, nope, there was less, 25. Well, that was really fun. So do we want to put all the pom-poms back in so we have a picture to hang? This time, let's not follow the colors on the picture and just randomly fill it in. And we'll see what it looks like then. I think it'll still look cool. So instead of orange, I'm going to use green. So we'll have green antennas. Oh, this is already looking really fun. And instead of yellow pom-poms, I'm going to use orange. So we'll put orange right up here, orange over here. And then down here, there were yellow ones, but we're going to use orange. All right, now instead of purple, what do you think, Georgiana? Instead of purple, what color should we use?
Maybe green.
Ooh, okay. Here's green. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, instead of orange, let's use pink. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And instead of pink, we'll use yellow.
Looks like our butterfly is ready for mismatch day.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. That means it's just a really fun butterfly. Okay, so instead of the green, we'll use yellow here too. Or maybe purple. We have a lot of purple. Or maybe this color, the teal. Let's use the teal instead. The teal is like a mix of blue and green. Just for all of you who didn't know what teal is. And instead of the teal here and here, now we can use purple. Or we can use pink. Okay, let's use pink. Yes. Pink.
Oh, light.
Light pink. Light pink instead of the magenta. And up here. Oh, this is such a fun looking butterfly. And we still have 1, 2, 3 left. All right, so instead of yellow, we can use, oh, how about if we use the teal again? Okay. No, how about if we use orange? Okay. No, teal. Yep. Okay. That was a hard decision there, but I like how there's 1, 2, 3 teal in a row. Okay, and our cheekers, purple, purple. Boop. And boop. All right, so we finished Jordan, our butterfly, yet again, but in a more colorful and fun way. Yay! And I'm going to flip it over and see what that looks like on the back as well. Shoop. Awesome. Again, it looks like sprinkles on white icing of a cupcake. All right, Georgiana, what do you think?
I think Jordan will love it.
Yay, wonderful. And as I said, this can be hung up anywhere that you have somewhere to hang it on, like even a door handle. So this is a very fun and quick and easy kit to do with lovely, lovely fuzzy results. So I will say thank you all for joining me. We got to color in our dinosaur and our butterfly with pom-poms. So I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did, and that you check out our pom-pom pictures at Michael's or online and try it out yourself if you haven't tried it yet. So any questions out there? No? All right. Thanks. Thanks again. I hope to see you next time for our next craft together. Bye-bye.